Shalom and welcome to Biblical Hebrew Bereishit. Bereishit 1 verse 28. Vevarech otam Elohim veyomer lahem Elohim paru urvu umilu et haaretz vechiv shuha urdu bidgat hayam uvof hashamayim uvchal chaya haromeset al haaretz. Traditional translation: And God blessed them, and God said to them, Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth, and subdue it, and rule over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the sky, and over all the beasts that tread upon the earth. Vavarech. Traditional translation: And so blessed. The vav is a prefix that means and. Barak is a verb that means to bless. Otam, traditional translation, them. Elohim, traditional translation, God. This is a masculine noun that means God, goddess, godlike one, works or special possessions of God, or the true God. It comes from the root word Elo, which is a masculine noun that means God or false God. Vayomer, traditional translation, and so said. Vav is a prefix that means and. Amar is a verb that means to say, to answer, to say in one's heart, to think, to command, to promise, or to intend. Lahem, traditional translation, to them. Elohim, traditional translation, God. This is a masculine noun that means God, goddess, godlike one, works or special possessions of God, or the true God. It comes from the root word Elo, which is a masculine noun that means God or false God. Peru, traditional translation, be fruitful. Para is a verb that means to bear fruit or be fruitful. Urvu, traditional translation, and multiply. The vav is a prefix that means and. Rava is a verb that means to become many, to become numerous, or to multiply. Umli'u, traditional translation, and fill. The vav is a prefix that means and. Malah is a verb that means to be full, to be accomplished, to be ended, or abundance. It. This is a particle. It's a sign of the definite direct object, not translated in English, but generally precedes and indicates the accusative. Haaretz, traditional translation, the earth. He is a prefix that means the. Aretz is a feminine noun that means land, earth, ground, or surface of the earth. Vechiv shuha, traditional translation, and subdue it. The vav is a prefix that means and. Kavash is a verb that means to bring into bondage, to make subservient, to subdue, to force, or to dominate. Urdu, traditional translation, and rule. The vav is a prefix that means and. Rada is a verb that means to rule, to have dominion, or to subjugate. Bidgat, traditional translation, over the fish. The bait is a prefix that means over. Daga is a feminine noun that means fish. This comes from the root word dag, which is the masculine noun that means fish. Hayam, Traditional translation of the sea. The he is a prefix that means the. Yam is a masculine noun that means sea, seaward, west, or westward. Uv-of, traditional translation, and over the fowl. The vav is a prefix that means and. The vate is a prefix that means over. Of is a masculine noun that means flying creatures, fowl, insects, or birds. It comes from the root word uf, which is a verb that means to fly about, or to fly away. Hashamayim, traditional translation of the sky. He is a prefix that means the. Shamayim is a masculine noun that means heaven as in the abode of God, heaven, heavens, or sky. Uvchal, traditional translation, and over all. Vav is a prefix that means and. Vate is a prefix that means over. Chal is a particle that means all or every. Chaya, traditional translation, the beast. This is a verb that means to live, to have life, or to sustain life. It comes from the root word chai, which is a feminine noun that means living thing or animal. Haromaset, traditional translation, that tread. He is a prefix that means the, but is generally not translated. Ramas is a verb that means to creep, to move lightly, to move about, or to walk on all fours. The tav at the end is a suffix that indicates a feminine word. Al, traditional translation, upon. This is a preposition that means on, over, upon, about, or concerning. Haaretz, traditional translation, the earth. He is a prefix that means the. Aretz is a feminine noun that means land, earth, ground, or surface of the earth. Thanks for listening. Shalom.